Hey, sweets.
Hey, Savories.
I'm Alyssa.
I'm AJ, and this is the Sweet or Savory Podcast. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Sweet or Savory Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone. We're getting deep today.
Yes.
What is the first thing that ever broke your heart?
Oh, my God.
Whoa. Jumping right in, huh, Julie?
We're jumping in. No time for chit chat. We're going deep today.
Whoa.
Tell me.
Whoa. Let's go.
In 5, 4. I'm just kidding.
Oh, my God. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Deep conversation starters is actually our topic for today. And you literally just started it off right now, which we are starting a deep conversation. Do you have an answer?
You have an answer, probably.
That is a deep first? One. No, that is a really kind of shocking thing because you think about it and then you maybe feel something.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who listen to the podcast, you know, you've heard several times that my dad has passed away. And obviously I take that with me in my personal life and have learned a lot from it. And it has affected me in a lot of positive ways, which is great. But also, of course, it breaks me every time I really think about it. And I guess that would technically be the first thing that broke my heart, which was, you know, my mom pulling us into a room. We're on the way, me and my sisters. We're on the way with my Mama Zenny and my other aunt from church because my mom got a call, or my mom called us to go there, I guess, to the hospital. And then when we get there, we get taken into a room. And then, you know, my mom tells me and my sister, because Justine was only 6 months old. And she says, you know, your dad is no longer with us. And I just remember I kept saying, what do you mean? Like, no, you know? And I think my sister Jasmine was silent. At least that's what I remember. And yeah, it sucked. And I heard my auntie Zenny just crying hysterically in the other room because she went to go visit his body already in the room that was still there. So I know.
Oh my gosh.
That's chill.
Was it sudden?
No. So the background is that my dad, you know, was a pianist and musician, and he sweat a lot when he played piano. He played piano every Sunday for like 5 different services, and he wanted to get rid of the problem that made him sweat. So the doctors did a minor procedure, and I remember the day he went in. You know, I was just like, all right, bye, Dad. You know, love you. And he was in the hospital for 3 weeks because the procedure, one of the doctors cut something on accident. And he, you know, bled more than usual, and he had to stay in the hospital. He eventually caught hospital pneumonia, and then he passed away.
Oh, my gosh.
And another heartbreaking thing about that is that doctor works at the hospital. So this was all at the hospital that my mom worked at. And the doctor who did that still worked there until recently. And my mom was the one who threw his retirement party. And I think in a way she wanted to, you know, fully go full circle and forgive him. You know, and she forgave him a long time ago, of course, in her mind, but she threw the retirement party of the doctor who was essentially responsible for my dad's death.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did your heart break after the surgery, or did it take 3 weeks? Is still kind of sudden.
I did not know what was going on, really. You know, I was 10 years old. I was like, why is he still in the hospital? I had thought it mostly had to do with that he smoked when he was, you know, he quit smoking maybe 20 years before he passed away, and that his like lungs were too black, and then some complication happened because they couldn't see, because you got to go into like the armpit area and cut the sweat gland in there. So I didn't fully understand. It wasn't until, there was a lawsuit with the hospital that we won money from, because it was like, wrongful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The legal term.
The legal terms for
malpractice.
Yeah, something like that. So I was like, oh, the hospital was at fault here. And it was tough because my dad was a musician, so he didn't make, Social Security money, things like that. So it was a blessing, obviously, that we got to get money in that lawsuit for us when we turned 18 and things like that. But yeah,
wow,
it my heart breaks thinking about that day that we let him go into surgery, thinking that was a normal day. Literally, I remember thinking like 99% and reading like the terms, or someone telling me, 99% of the time this surgery just goes well.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember it.
That's crazy that you remember the before part.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It did feel like a normal day.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a great way to start the podcast.
So your heart broke? Wow, I'm so surprised.
I wish
That's
I went
horrible.
first. Mine is about a boy.
Hey, all that stuff is valid as well. You know what? Actually, during that time, and I've talked for 7 minutes straight now, but during that time, actually, I remember this girl I had a crush on, and her name was Annette, I think, or something like that. And while my dad was in the hospital, I remember visiting him one time before, he passed away, and there were like tubes in his mouth and everything like that. And he couldn't talk back. And I remember just, I don't know, being excited about this girl. I didn't tell him about it or anything. I was talking mostly about this trip that I had to Knott's Berry Farm.
You were telling him?
Yeah, I was telling him about that day.
Oh.
And he just mumbled what I thought was, and what my mom said to me was, he said, "I love you," with like tubes in his mouth and stuff. But I was just telling him about my day.
Wow.
And, but I remember worrying about, or being concerned about, this girl that I had a crush on in 5th grade, so like that kind of intertwined. And, but yeah, it was sudden, to answer your question, because obviously everybody thought it was just going to be fine. And then, everyone at school sent me cards and stuff. My teacher, it was a big deal for everybody because, he didn't have cancer or anything.
Yeah. It wasn't. Yeah. I feel like that feels like 2 to 3 weeks feels sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even
it's
if
not
it's
enough
not
time to process anything.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that happened 10 days after his birthday. And we spent his birthday in the hospital singing songs to him and stuff, things like that. But yeah, it was a major heartbreak. That's for sure.
Oof.
10 years old.
How sad.
What about you, Alyssa? I know that was such a heavy, like,
so
I feel kind of
no, literally
pain in my chest a little bit.
Yeah. The first thing that ever broke my heart was actually disappointing my parents.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's related to a guy
boy?
that I dated in high school.
Oh.
That I lied to my parents about. And this was the first big fight that I've ever had with my parents. And it's funny because I was already almost in college. So I was already older, but they felt very strongly about it not being a good idea, like me dating him being a bad idea. And they were basically like, you should stop seeing him, all these things. And I was like, I'm an adult. I'm 18 years old. I can see him if I want to. And so I lied about it. And I was like still dating him after, high school and stuff, even though they told me that I needed to break up with him after high school.
Yeah. At that age, though, you're like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. But I remember when they found out that I was still dating him, because a family friend ran into us and told them.
Like at the mall or
at
something?
the mall.
Shut
Literally
up.
at the mall.
Oh my God.
And I told them that they were like asking me what I did for lunch, blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh yeah, I just ate in the school cafeteria, like whatever it was called at the time. And I remember my dad looking at my mom. And like, I knew I was lying. I've been lying for like weeks at that point.
Yeah.
And my dad looked at my mom and was like, "We have a problem here." And I was like,
you'll always remember
what?
that. He said exactly that.
Yes. And I remember us talking about it and like them explaining why they didn't think it was a good idea, and that the real reason why they were upset was that I was lying to them for weeks about it. And the look on their face when they found out that I lied was really sad. And it broke my heart when my dad was crying about it and saying like, "I just want the best for you. Like, he's not the best for you." And my mom saying, "You really disappointed your dad."
Oh, and your dad rarely cries or really shows emotion.
My dad
so
rarely cries. I've probably seen him cry a total of like 5 times in
your life.
Okay, maybe that's exaggerating.
Sure, but recent.
But remembering it, if I can like
as
recall as an adult, less than 10 times I can remember
I was there one of the
seeing
times.
him cry. And you know, the other times were at his mom's funeral and
right.
when we had like family meetings. But this was a time where he was actually upset at me. And that
disappointment
really
is worse than even just being angry.
Yeah.
So that's really deep.
It was very hurtful at the time. And I mean, I ended up breaking up with him.
Well, yeah, we're getting married, so thank God.
So I guess it was a good thing.
They were watching out.
Yeah, I guess so.
Your dad knew.
Sometimes
Just wait
they
for
do know
AJ
best.
Rafael.
Oh my God.
Your dad he's a really protective guy, and he really does want the best for you guys. So I can totally see why and how it affected him and how that could break your heart, because, you know, you look up to your parents, you look up to your dad, and yeah. Wow. Are you going to share something really heartbreaking too, Julie?
Oh, no. I actually have one that's like really lame.
Okay, let's hear it.
It's not even really heartbreak, but I specifically remember the first time that I felt angry. And it was when I watched The Dark Knight.
Whoa.
The Joker. That's the one with the Joker, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Joker that's on my arm.
Yeah. That brought out a new emotion for me.
Really?
I was like, why do I feel so bad right now? What is this feeling? And I was watching it and I was like, I feel like hot in my heart. And I was like, this is anger. This is what people feel when they feel anger. And it unleashed angry Julie. And from then on, I was able to feel that emotion.
What?
The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight?
I was
2012. How old were you in 2012?
2012, I was 19.
Oh my. First time angry ever?
Like
I
that,
mean,
like wrath.
I was so mad at the Joker. I mean, I've had other times that I felt like mad, you know, like, oh, why did you do that to me? Whatever. But that was the first time I felt it like in my like heart and soul. I was like, I am so angry with the Joker. And it was like, I had never felt that. I had never felt actually angry before. I think I had felt just annoyed or bitter or whatever.
Do you remember what triggered it?
Like the ship when he's telling them to choose?
I blocked it all out of my head.
Oh my goodness.
No, I think it was just the way that the Joker was so evil with no like
no cause really.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, and maybe with the new Joker movie there's some more background or whatever, but I feel like there was he was just so evil, just so purely evil. And it wasn't like some of the villains that, you know, you kind of get attached to their story and you kind of feel for them, or they're just like so fantastic that they're just not real. And so you're just like, you don't attach. The Joker, I feel like, was somewhere right in between, where it was like kind of realistic enough in a way, like people do act like that. Or maybe it was just that I was getting older and so I was connecting it or something. But I just... I still feel it in my like stomach.
Wow,
when I think about
really
it. I was so angry.
Yeah, I mean the whole psychology of the Joker is that it is just no reason for his chaos. And he balances the Batman out because Batman has a reason for his vengeance, and it's really, you know, for his parents and stuff. But he doesn't. His relationship with the Joker is that he doesn't kill the Joker as well. So he just lets that happen. It's a complicated relationship and story, but wow.
Yeah.
Interesting to know. Did you know this, Nathan? About her?
Yeah.
Oh, you knew this. Yeah. First time.
Core
ever.
memory.
Core
Talks about
memory.
it.
And also Heath Ledger was just an amazing actor.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
so-
there also was an element of like everything that happened around that time with the movie, like the violence in the theater, and
Yeah,
then
that's right.
also with Heath Ledger and everything. So I think that kind of added to it too. It was just a heavy feeling. Do you want to move on to
Yeah, let's
another
move on.
question?
I think this next one is more fun. All right, Julie, take us away.
All right, next question. Moving in a different direction. What is a hyperbole that you think is used too much?
Let's go into what a hyperbole is, because I did have to look this up when I saw this. And actually, this deep conversation starter topic.
We found on TikTok.
Yes. So these are questions actually straight from the TikTok
video.
The TikTok video. So what is hyperbole, Julie?
Oh, well, okay. A hyperbole is an exaggerated statement or a claim not meant to be taken literally. So, you know, like it's raining cats and dogs, or I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. Could you eat a horse though? Really? No. So it's an exaggeration.
No. Yeah, it is. Except in the Oregon Trail days,
Ooh.
they ate horses.
Oh.
Yeah.
Actually, for this one, I wanted to bring in some audience participation
Let's do
because we
it.
did ask our Instagram followers what they thought of this question. And here we go. What's a hyperbole you think is used too much? The first one I see is literally.
Ooh.
Is that a, yeah? Because
I
use
use
that.
that one all the time.
when it's actually not literal.
No, it's not literal
It's
at
not even
all.
possible to be literal.
Yeah.
That one's from JennyCat03. Thank you for sending in. You sent in two. And here's your second one. I've told you a million times.
I guess I use a lot of hyperboles because I use that one too.
Yeah. Stanton G says, "Cry me a river."
Never use that one.
That's rude. Oh, cry me a river.
Oh yeah.
Okay, here's one where I
Justin
think
Timberlake.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake. This is one I think that we all use. Oh, Lexi from our Glisten Up team says, "Literally died."
Mhm.
I use that.
It's popular right now.
I use that without shame though. I feel like the meaning of literal is just changing.
Yeah.
And I know it's not literal. I say it anyways.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I'm not trying to stop myself.
It's just
I
a
just
saying.
say it.
It's
Yeah.
just a saying, like
language
literally.
evolves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This one makes me sad because, and this from Denzel Jones, who is an avid fan of our pod. So shout out to Denzel. I love you to the moon and back.
Oh.
Because you know why.
Your mom.
Yeah,
she
my
always
mom
says
says
that
that
one.
to us as
I like
kids.
that one.
And I
I guess-
believe it. It's real.
Yeah. It's real from mom. She listens to the podcast.
It's Lizette says, "I'm so hungry I can eat a cow."
Oh.
But it's Lizette also says, "It costs an arm and a leg."
Hmm.
When people say that, it's like so dad jokey.
No, people have used it for me saying literally. Someone was giving me advice on wedding rings, like choosing a wedding ring, and they were saying like, I remember them saying that one's gonna cost you an arm and a leg. That they meant it, I think.
Mm.
I mean, if you could like see what the cost is, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
You don't know what the literal cost is.
You're like, actually, I have a brand deal. So
no, they did though.
Oh, amputate.
what?
Wait.
Where is this
Oh,
going?
like you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
I
saying.
see. Like, okay, is this ableist? Is this conversation?
I know. I think maybe that saying is probably ableist. So let's just stop saying it costs an arm and a leg.
Okay.
All
I
right.
feel like this is a good time to plug Brilliant Earth and be like, they actually do not use slavery, and
Yeah, they
It's
don't
not
use
costing
they don't
anyone's-
mind. Yes.
the mine the diamonds.
Mhm.
Yes,
it's
they don't.
made in a lab and it's ethical.
Yeah, and the ones that are not made in a lab that are real diamonds are not made in the way, like they're not blood diamonds. Apparently,
The ones that they also have.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, I got one last one from the audience, and this one is actually a really hot take. This one is from Leo from One Down and Kumu. He says, quote, Our love is unconditional, unquote. It's not. Even married couples have conditions like being faithful.
Oh.
Is that a condition? It's interesting.
I've heard that people saying that similarly because I've been watching a lot of TikToks about wedding vows because I'm writing mine. I'm trying to.
Oh, you are?
Well, I need to start thinking. You're a really good speaker, okay? I need time. But I've seen some videos about unconditional love, the saying unconditional love with another person. Is it really unconditional? Like everyone has some sort of conditions when it comes to relationships.
Yeah.
So I can see where Leo's coming from.
Sure. I think, very, I don't know.
And
not mean, like not intentional, like not always intentional.
Sure.
But
I think we all have conditions with each
with
other.
each other,
You know,
yeah.
Friendships, relationships.
Marriage or not, yeah.
I think of, I'm not overly religious, but I think of God's love would be technically unconditional, right? Jesus's love, but that's who I would model my love for, like a partner, you from. So, but yeah, I mean, in a polygamous relationship, there's conditions too, right? Like we've talked to some people about like their open relationships and stuff, and they have specific conditions as well.
Rules.
So not even rules. So not even in a monogamous relationship.
Yeah.
That was a hot.
That's a hot
You don't
one.
even know how to
It's a
respond
hot
to
one.
it, honestly.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah, I'd like to think that my love for you would be unconditional.
Also, love might be different than marriage. Like maybe, I mean, till death do us part. But I suppose like you said, cheating, like, I mean, that's not 100% definitely going to break up a marriage, but it's a big one.
It's a big one.
And, but you could theoretically still love the person.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't, stay together.
Let's move on.
Okay.
Let's move on, I think.
That one was way harder than I expected.
Yeah,
Me
that
too.
was. Wait, I didn't say mine.
I'm so
Did
sorry.
you say yours?
No, I didn't say it.
Oh, okay,
I just brought up audience
Okay,
reactions, but do you have a hyperbole that you think is overused?
No, not a hyperbole, more of a cliche.
Okay, what is it?
I think the cliche, this is another hot one though. Do we want to go there?
Sure.
Julie's like, no.
Gotta get my water, replenish all my sweat.
The saying that I think is used too much is everything happens for a reason.
Ooh.
And I know that saying is often used to alleviate pain or make people feel better, have people have faith. But there are some times where I don't think everything happens for a reason. And it's such an extreme saying that is often overused in every single circumstance, whether you don't get a job or you break up with your partner, or sometimes when people pass away, people say that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And I just think sometimes things just need to be. Like life sometimes is just the way it is. And maybe there are reasons for certain things happening. Who knows?
Yeah. Higher
power, whatever that is. But I think people use it a lot to make people feel better. And it doesn't make me
So you
feel
don't like
better.
it as a device
I don't
for
like,
that.
Yeah.
But even just letting something be is reason. There would be a reason for that.
I suppose so.
Yeah, but I agree. I mean, that phrase can be overused. Definitely.
In the way that people say it, like everything happens for a reason, so don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. Don't like. You'll figure out. Like one day you'll know the reason for this, and I feel like that makes us constantly search for reasons behind everything.
That's fair.
Yeah, and sometimes maybe some good comes out of it, but that doesn't mean that's why it happened. Maybe it's just like, oh, I'm going to respond to this and hopefully something good will come. but maybe it just happened. And it's not like it happened so that you could have the good thing.
That's it.
And that's
I
why
agree.
you hate the Joker, because he does everything with no reason.
Yes.
No reason behind it.
And my dad's going to be mad because that's his favorite saying.
Oh.
Everything happens for a reason is his favorite saying.
I mean, and you're not saying it's untrue.
I'm not.
You're just saying it's one of those things that is overused.
Mm-hmm.
And that is totally fair.
Thank you.
Yes, I hear you. I see you.
Speaking of fathers, what trait of yours do you want to pass along to your children?
All right. So I know this will eventually come up for us, but we have some special guests.
Yay!
Who all answered this question. And I want to start off with the youngest participant, actually. This is Ella Jay Basco.
Aww.
I believe she's 16 years old. And she is an actress. She was in the movie Birds of Prey with Margot Robbie. She was Cassandra Cain, who in the comics eventually becomes Batgirl. And Ella Jay is so amazing. She has a new single out that came out already. So check it out. Eye to Eye and Bubble Tea. All right. This is what Ella had to say.
Okay, so the question is, what trait of yours do you want to pass along to your children? The trait I probably want to pass down to my kids is the confidence in being a talker and being a social person, never being afraid to make new friends and make new conversation with people, because I, work in the industry, I kind of find it a lot easier now. And I feel like if they inherit that, they'll be a lot friendlier, nicer people in the world, but not too nice because stranger danger. But yeah.
True.
I love that. She's thinking about that already. We love you, Ella.
Love you, Ella.
Next, we have my sister, Jasmine Rafael. So not Justine, who we've had on for multiple times. Yes. We had her for which one specifically? Can you be friends with your ex? That was a big one.
And Disneyland? Oh, wait, that was...
She was here, but she wasn't on the episode.
Oh, okay. You're right. We love you, Justine. And here's Jasmine, who is currently in a show called Anne Juliet in Toronto that hopefully will be going to Broadway.
Broadway, baby.
All right, Jasmine, here we go. Jazz.
A trait that I want to pass along to my children is that I've always listened to what calls to me and my desires, like my whole life, and I have such a sensitivity to it, and I just always want my kids to be sensitive, be powerfully sensitive to what they want and what they feel is right and what they feel like would sort of enrich their lives, or what they feel excited about or interested in, and not be afraid to follow those passions. And yeah, I just hope that they have that sort of courage towards their desires, because I feel like it's led me to be such a full person, to be able to pour into the lives of the people around me. And it seems really selfish sometimes, but there's a way to sort of do it while still being loving to those around you. And I want them to, just follow that, because it's such a beautiful way to live.
That is so Jasmine.
It's 100% Jasmine.
She has so much conviction and drive towards her dreams and desires and literally making it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what she's doing right now.
She's like the number one manifestation queen. When she wants something, she'll go for it, and she makes it happen.
She makes it happen. And that's what she's doing right now. We love you, Jazz. Congrats on your gig out in Toronto. We can't wait to see your Broadway debut. Ooh. All right, here we go. We also have our friend Issa Briones, who is on Star Trek Picard right now, both seasons, and she was Peggy in the Hamilton National Tour, and we're actually in a show together right now. We are in Grease the Musical, playing at Musical Theater West, and Issa plays Rizzo. And let's see what she has to say about what traits she wants to pass on to her children.
Hi, Alyssa and AJ, and hello to all of you Sweet or Savory podcast listeners. I'm Issa Briones, and my question today is, what trait of yours do you want to pass along to your children? And this question really resonates with me because I've actually been thinking a lot about the traits that I am grateful to have inherited from my mother. And of course there are so many, but the one that I really finally landed on is the same thing that I would like my kids to inherit from me, and for them to look back on and think, oh, I got that from my mom, which is just a general spice for life. To kind of look at any moment in life, even the hard ones, acknowledge it, address it, and just find a way above all to have fun no matter what, and just lead with love always.
Love you guys.
Love you, Issa.
I love that Issa thought about her mom and traits that she wants from her mom to pass on to her kids.
Yeah, and she definitely got that. Her brother got that. Their whole family,
1000%.
the Brioneses, you may know them from a lot of things, but recently John Briones was on the show Ratchet. My mom, huge fan.
Oh, my mom's a huge fan.
Oh my goodness.
Oof.
He's an OG. Love you, all the Briones family. And we have one more person who is an actual mother to a little girl named Ella, the cutest, most silly, funny kid. And this is our good friend Cathy. I grew up making YouTube videos with her. She was in a YouTube video that
you didn't
Alyssa.
Say her full name.
Oh, I was leading up to it. It was like an intro.
Sorry.
We grew up making singing videos together, and she was actually in a Wong Fu video that Alyssa watched when she had her heart broken as well.
I've watched that video 11 million times, literally.
Hyperbole.
I approve of that hyperbole.
And her name is Cathy Nguyen, and that video is Strangers Again.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a beautiful child named Ella, and here's her answer.
Hey, Sweet and Savory podcast. It is me, Cathy, and it's about time you hear my voice on here.
It's because I forgot to put her in one.
I love people so much and am such a fan of your content on here. So great job, you guys. To answer this question of what trait I wanted to pass down to my child, as many of you may know, I do have the most silly but so adorable 3-year-old daughter named Ella. And besides the obvious of what she's already inherited from me, but no, really, every day I do try to teach her and try to remind her to be kind. I know that sounds really simple, but I feel that kindness goes a really long way, and something that definitely trickles down from one person to the next. And I just want her to be that person that starts the cycle and make a difference to everyone around her.
And she will.
She already does. If you have a chance to check out a video that Cathy has on her Instagram where it's Halloween and Ella is giving out candy. Cathy didn't tell Ella to do this, but she gives out a piece of candy and she gives a compliment. And
so
to each
cute.
kid, and it's very genuine and sweet. She's like, I like your hat. I love your costume. That's really cool. And I just think that shows how kind and genuine she is. And she got that from you, Cathy.
Yeah. And when Cathy was feeling down one time and Ella just like hugged her and asked if she's okay, like such a genuine moment. Thank you for sharing those moments with us, Cathy. Her Instagram is It's Cathy. Yes. YEE It's Cathy, if you are curious to check that out. I don't want us to kind of just like pass over this question, but just for an interest of time, what are some traits without going like too much into it?
I'll make it simple. Mine is my compassion and empathy for others. My compassion and empathy for others has led me to do what I am doing in my career, and always thinking about not just myself, but the impact that I am leaving on the world and the people around me.
Love that. That's beautiful.
How about you?
I would say my charisma. I love that. Since I was a kid, people always used to call me, wow, you're so charismatic. Like I played for church since I was 10, performing since I was a kid. Would love them to have that trait if possible. Yeah, and also my compassion and empathy towards others, and maybe also the way that I value my relationships and the way I communicate to others, my love for them, and yeah.
Love that. Love that.
Julie?
My hair. I'm just kidding.
Love that.
She has great hair.
Maybe my creativity.
Oh,
Yes.
good one.
Biophilic.
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
It's not just
I
biophilic.
know it's not just that.
It's just
No,
it's
I'm
just
happy that
Julie.
that's what you think of. I think that's my thing.
In the dictionary, if you see biophilic in the dictionary, it's actually just Julie Texan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like posing next to plants.
Yeah.
I am biophilic. I have another question here from the TikTok, and we're really switching gears on this one. I personally wouldn't consider this that deep, but maybe we can bring it there.
Who knows?
What color do you feel the most confident in?
I feel the most confident in. I don't know why I gravitate towards mustard terracotta colors.
Yeah, you have a lot of those.
I have a lot of those.
And you look amazing. in them.
Yellows. They make me happy. So it makes me feel confident.
It brings out the confidence.
Even though in photos, I think I look great in red, but I don't wear a lot of red. It doesn't call to me. So I gravitate more towards the terracotta and mustard.
So it's not
colors.
necessarily about what you feel you look best in, but it's what you feel more confident in.
Yes, absolutely.
Mine has to do with my insecurity of my body and how I feel like mostly dark colors just kind of cover my, I don't know, like my little pudges, you know.
That's what make me cry.
So that's why I have so many black shirts. You're crying, babe.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't mean to.
After I was like, this
didn't know
one's not
that.
going to be deep.
I know. I didn't know you felt insecure, so you choose different colors.
Yeah.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, I hate wearing white shirts. And I actually just told this to somebody. I might have told someone on set somewhere or something. Can't believe you're crying.
Julie, you said this wasn't a deep question.
Not deep at all.
I'm
Let's skim over
crying.
this shallow one.
When I was wearing white and like this khaki thing and khaki shorts for a show in Texas. And I was asking my homie Fonz, who I just met, in Texas. And I told him, I was like, hey, how do I look in this, man? Be real with me, because I'm really insecure when I'm wearing white and I'm wearing light colors, And he was like, dude, I think you look fresh, man. Like he was like really hyping me up, And I remember, sick. Okay, I'm going to wear this, right? And then I did the meet and greet in the same outfit and everything. And I remember looking at those photos after the night was over, on my Instagram. And I was just like, damn, I look kind of big in these photos. And I was like sad about it. But I'm sure no one even, bats an eye or thinks about that stuff at all. Yeah. And I'm obviously not mad at Fonz or anything for hyping me up, because he probably really truly believed that. But in my own eyes, I'm looking at these photos and I like hardly reposted any. I just kind of posted the videos because they move a little faster, opposed to like photos where like
It's
my insecurities, like someone's like zooming in. It's like, oh, he's bigger than I thought. I think it also has to do with just like, kind of being a public figure in a way where I was, 20, 30 pounds lighter during a time where people were listening to my music a lot, like specifically like Red Rose's album. And actually during that show in Texas too, oh my goodness. There's a specific headshot that was used for that, the promo for that show. And I remember being interviewed for a TV station that they were going live on YouTube. And I went in there and I was like, oh yeah, that's me. Because I'm pointing to the green screen. And the host literally said, wow, I thought that was a totally different person. Like, and he was like, that doesn't look like you.
Aww.
And I was
Oh
just
my
like,
gosh.
I'm just laughing it off. Like,
Thank you so much.
yeah. I was like, that was like 7 years ago. Ha ha ha, but
Maybe he meant because of all the extra muscle now.
yeah. Beth, baby.
Orange Theory.
Orange Theory.
Shout out to Orange Theory.
No, actually, I did the whole full body scan, and my muscle weighs a lot. Like,
Yeah, you're
See?
thanks,
your
guys.
muscle.
I'm just saying. Just had to bring myself up there.
Aww. I felt sad.
That does make sense. So as a public figure, people comment on everything.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
think, oh, it's just an innocent observation.
Right.
I'm not insulting you. I'm just observing.
Mhm.
But it is insulting to be like picked apart like that. Even if it were for a good thing, the fact that people are so observant and feel the need to say things about everything you do,
Mhm.
I'm sure that would in general just make you feel more self-conscious, like about what people are thinking
Mhm.
Yeah.
in general. And
Yeah.
that would just be one of the areas.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, it happens probably more than I think people realize. If I randomly search my name on Twitter and stuff, and I find some bad things about like my appearance, and things like that, it does kind of hurt sometimes.
People kind of forget that you're people, that you are a person.
Yeah. But, I don't really let it get to me. But, if my aunt or someone tells me that I've gained weight, that I know they're being real, even though they're being unnecessary. Like I didn't ask you.
Yeah.
But that's when it's kind of real.
Yeah. But then the opposite, when you do start like getting fit or losing weight and they
Mhm.
comment on it, you're like, must be true then,
Yeah.
because they would call you out if you're
Yeah.
not. That's happened to me recently. I'm like, okay, guess it's working.
I do actually feel confident in this shade of brown because of the way I look on camera right now. So I'm cool with that color too. This is a new shirt, by the way, from Kuyate, our clothing company.
Yeah.
It'll probably be sold out by the time this episode's
Aw.
out.
Boo.
But yeah, cool.
Love it. Okay, let's move on to the next one. What's your childhood best friend's name and what do you remember about them?
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Yeah. My childhood best friend. Actually, I have a few that is not who you think of,
Oh.
but I just want to shout out their names. There's Manuel from elementary school, from Butterfield Elementary School, and Chris Rocha from Vista Heights Middle School.
Nice.
I don't know. I just wanted to.
Quick shout out just in case they're listening.
I wanted to archive it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
To memorialize it. Yeah, my childhood best friend is Arby, who I met in the 3rd grade, and our dads dropped us off to CCD, which is like the Catholic religious ed school, during the weekdays, so not during church. And they met each other. Our dads met each other, which is awesome because not many people knew my dad.
Mm.
And we got close in 6th grade when we went to the same middle school, and our moms got close, and my dad had passed away by then already. And his name is Arby, and he is going to be my best man. And we've been best friends ever since. And he's been there for me through, before I was on YouTube and before making music. And so I'm really grateful for that, to have somebody who knew me before that, who I'm still close to today. And we've taught so much about each other. We've learned so much from each other, I mean. And when we F up in life, we call each other out and we hold each other accountable. And I think that's what best friends should do. And I'm very grateful for him.
Great guy. Love you, Arby.
Love you, Arby.
He's like a brother to me too.
Yeah. He's the best. He's always there for my family. And I know the question is, what's your childhood best friend's name and what do you remember about them? But like, he's still in my
He's
life.
still in
I'm
your
so
life,
grateful.
so.
Is he going to be in the wedding?
Oh,
Yeah.
best man.
Best man.
Maybe you already said that.
I did, Julie.
I was still thinking about the first two. I was holding my laughter for a
Oh,
little bit.
yeah.
I zoned out.
Like Chris Rocha, I was thinking about him.
I was
and Manuel.
laughing at Alyssa saying, nice.
It's just like, I've never heard of these people.
Actually, y'all missed meeting him because I didn't get to introduce y'all during my birthday. During the movie
Oh.
screening. But you'll meet him eventually. You'll meet him at the wedding and
for
stuff.
sure.
Yeah. So, go ahead, Alyssa.
My childhood best friend, the first one I could think about that I felt like was my true best friend, not a fake best friend, was from elementary school through about high school. And her name was Laura Sons. Shout out to Laura. And I just remember having the silliest of times. The
Love
middle
that.
school years, you know, we
Mhm.
went through being like babies to being
Yeah.
like silly little girls. And we would make YouTube videos of us biking through McDonald's. We would wear shirts with inappropriate sayings on them that we made ourselves.
Yeah.
We would take photo booth pictures on the MacBook, the old ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember just being silly, like the silliest, always laughing, always having fun.
I love that.
We still keep in
Nice.
touch on
Laura's son?
Instagram. Yeah. We still keep in touch on Instagram, but I haven't seen her in a while. I hope you're doing well, Laura.
Love you,
So
Laura.
cute. You always
Um,
remember your childhood best friend.
Yeah.
You do. You do.
Fond memories.
Fond memories. Okay, we have an answer from our friend Nick Casas, who is the father of Sienna,
Nick and
little
Sienna
Sienna
on
Rose. So
TikTok.
Nick and Sienna on TikTok, they have like 13 million followers
Yeah.
or something.
You probably
crazy
already
like
follow them.
that. Okay, so here we go.
My childhood best friend. Gosh, my first one that I can go back to was probably around 3rd or 4th grade. His name was Isaiah. We lived in the same apartment complex. He lived like a floor below me, and we would just hang out every day and play Sega Dreamcast. I remember that. But I moved away in like 4th grade, so I never talked to him again after that.
Did they get to have like a goodbye moment, or was it just like
Didn't
I'm
sound
I guess we'll
done?
never know.
It's just over.
I'm sad about that one.
This is the first time I felt heartbroken.
Thank you, Nick, for sharing that. And thank you, Nick and Zara, his girlfriend, for being avid fans of the podcast as well. We love y'all so much.
Speaking of crying,
Who was the last person to see you cry, Nick?
The last person to see me cry was anybody in the theater for the new Top Gun movie. I cried like a little baby. I went with my mom and my stepdad, so they saw me cry. But yeah.
Top Gun, huh? We haven't seen it yet.
I was a little, we were having like a little thing on Instagram because he didn't feel anything towards Everything Everywhere All at Once. And, you know, I cried like a little baby in that movie. But he was like, I don't get what the, you know, the hype or whatever. But then he really cried at Top Gun. So
You're like, there's a heart in there.
There's a heart in there. Who was the last person to see you cry?
You,
Yeah.
Nathan, and Julie. Because they just cried from the last question.
2 minutes ago.
I cry a lot on this podcast. And now you, if you're watching.
Every time I wear black, you're going to cry?
No, but now every time you put on a shirt, I'll be like, you look amazing.
Light colors. Light color shirt. I don't remember the last person to see me cry besides you. So
When was it?
I don't remember. We cry. If you listen to this podcast, we cry a lot on this
Cry a lot.
podcast. But also you heard that I'm the first person to cry in movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So, Julie, do you have someone who's seen you cry?
I mean, it's
Last?
got to be Nathan.
It's got to be Nathan, yeah.
I can't remember. Oh, what was I crying about? I recently cried. It was like 2 days ago. It was something about content. Do you remember? It was like, I think what it was is I was getting in my head about like what direction I'm going with my job. Like, because I have an influencer management company that's going well, that has like a good trajectory figured out. But also that started with a shift during the pandemic. So I have sort of like these unfinished careers that I started that then I always feel like, should I do anything with those now? Because I kind of stopped abruptly to do the management as a pandemic shift. And so I was getting kind of like stressed about that. And then like, how does that affect social media, which is always changing? And then I want to help my clients with social media, but sometimes it's a lot. And I think I was thinking about it because my podcast episode that day was about social media. So then I was like, Nathan, do you have just like a second to just talk through this? And usually in my mind, I'm really thinking just 5 minutes to just talk through this. And then an hour later, I'm like, but I don't know if. So I always get emotional when I'm talking about like my future, I guess.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Nathan's
pressure.
very good at helping me talk through it, though.
Yeah. Cry. Just let it out,
Yeah.
you know? Advice to
Mhm.
everybody. Do it.
Nathan has some good knowledge up in that noggin too.
Mhm.
Yeah, he really
He spits out the fire.
He spits out the fire.
Speaking of fire, every single transition.
I know.
What is the scariest thing you've seen? What is the scariest thing you've seen in a nightmare?
Ooh, can I talk about mine?
Yes, because
We're gonna end on a scary note.
Yeah,
We're
we
gonna
are.
we have to add
This is
some
the last question, by the way,
we have
everyone.
to add some comfort at the end.
Okay,
Sure,
we
maybe.
could try. My scariest nightmare is a nightmare that I had in the 6th grade that I forever will remember.
Wow, 6th grade.
Mhm. A little thing about me is that I am a vivid dreamer.
Okay.
I can also often lucid dream. And if you don't know what lucid dreaming is, it's when you are realizing you're in a dream
You can
and you
control.
are controlling it, making decisions, and it changes, the outcome of that action. But my dream that I had in the 6th grade was about my 5th grade teacher trying to punch me in the face. And this dream was completely in black and white and blue. Black, white, and blue colors. And there was only certain things that had additional color to it. So if you can just
Wow.
imagine that.
Okay.
And I just remember being in a van, a black van,
Mm-hmm.
and the car door falling off while I'm in the car.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing you know, I'm trying to fix and pull the car door from the van from falling off completely. And all I see is my 5th grade teacher running.
Oh my gosh.
Running like
Oh my
this.
gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
She's going towards me.
Uh-huh.
And all I could think about was, she's going to punch me in the face.
Oh my god.
She's going to punch me in the face.
Oh my god.
All of a sudden, my cousin comes from the back of the seat and he closes the door shut right as soon as she's about to close it, punch me in the face. And I was safe.
Oh, phew.
We get to the next destination, which is a gas station. My dad's filling up the truck with gas.
Okay.
I go into the gas station. I end up in the bathroom. It turns into a speakeasy.
No.
Yes.
Cool.
Where I then meet another woman in the bathroom.
How do you know what a speakeasy was at 6th grade?
I didn't know what it was then, but now I know what it was.
All right.
Because
Okay.
I can picture it. I go into the bathroom. We're looking in the mirror. Things start to turn in color
Cool.
slowly.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She has moles on her face.
This sounds like
She-
a Pixar film.
She tells me that the more moles, beauty marks you have in your face, the prettier you are. And
Okay.
you're going to get into the speakeasy, the club.
Okay.
So I find like this little makeup thing and I start to draw beauty marks on my face.
Okay.
And then we go into the speakeasy.
Okay. This seems really happy.
Okay. It does. Okay. This is going to be a long story because it's very vivid. I can imagine in my head. Every single scene, the 5th grade teacher's there.
Scary.
Gonna-
Scary. Running.
Running.
Like Get Out.
Yes, like Get Out.
Yeah.
Every single scene that I go to, I think it's over. It's not over.
No.
She's like in the
No.
back trying to punch me in the face
Mhm.
everywhere I go.
Mhm.
I don't know, till this day, I don't know the meaning of that dream. All I know is that I was terrified of this lady trying to
Wait,
punch me
so
in the face.
was it your actual 5th grade teacher?
Yeah.
That's scary.
And she wasn't mean or anything.
Yeah, that's scary.
But she was very tall and she had a deep voice.
I'm a little scared.
Yeah. I don't even remember her name, but I
I'm
remember
scared
her
of
face.
the
visual
the
of
visual
that.
of running.
I could still adrenaline.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
wow.
goodness.
The fact that you still remember that, it's traumatizing.
Very vivid, especially the colors. That was the
Yeah, the
first
colors,
dream that wasn't, that was very specific, black and white, blue, and then some
Yeah,
color.
It's like a movie.
Mhm.
I love that. You should make that a movie one day.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what the story is going to be, but
My scariest thing essentially is I get sleep paralysis a lot. And actually it's stopped in the last couple of years, thank God. And that might be because I'm with you now.
Oh,
I don't have trouble sleeping at night.
that's so cute.
Aw.
Anyway, what that feels like for those of you who have never had that before, and there's visuals online because the myth is that a demon is sitting on your back and you can't get up. What it feels like is that you can see everything around you, but your body's actually asleep. So you're trying to like wake yourself up, like trying to scream like, and then you're trying to open your eyes, but you can't, and you're trying to move your hands.
That's scary.
And one time, it happened to me 8 times that night. 8 times.
Oh my
8?
gosh. Were you
8
sick
times.
at the time? Like physically, like,
I was
or
not
super
physically
tired?
sick. I was very tired and always staying up very late.
because you know what I heard is if you're super, super tired or sick or something, sometimes you know how there's the different stages of sleep. And in stage 4, your body does paralyze to help you get the deep rest and the
Yes.
physical recovery. Well, sometimes I think when you're really tired, it's like you kind of are waking up in between stages, like it's not working quite properly.
Yes.
So your mind wakes up while your body's still stuck.
Your mind and
it,
your body are not.
it feels like
in sync.
so scary. It feels
That's
horrible.
Scary.
It's very scary for those
No
of you who haven't
control.
like felt that. You're lucky. Congrats. You just had a nightmare,
Congrats.
right, Julie?
I had a nightmare last night. Yes.
Just last night. Wow.
I was running away from something.
Running. It's a theme.
Yeah. I was like fleeing for my life. And we had to be discreet about it though. So it was at night and we had to get away from something. We had to like leave the country, like new identity type of situation.
Mm.
Oh, new identity. Maybe that's what it's about. I'm like analyzing it. And I don't remember all the details. I just remember that we were at this stoplight that's like near my childhood home. And we were driving a vehicle, but it was not an actual vehicle you'd see today. It was like almost like we were driving just the tire of a car, kind of. It's like it was like small, and I don't even
Cool.
know how
Okay.
it worked.
Yeah. Dreams are weird.
And we kept like very annoying little accidents kept happening that would draw attention to us. And I kept being like, no, just leave it. Just leave it. Just leave it. We have to go. You know, like that type of thing. And I was so scared.
Scary.
And then that's it. I woke up and I'm still running.
I'm
still running.
Legend has it, I'm still running.
Legend has it.
Oh my goodness. Well, we had a lot of deep conversation in every single question pretty much.
Even the color one.
Even the color one that Julie thought was just going to be very shallow.
Fast.
Actually, all of us did. She actually manifested that it was going to be deep. She was like,
Yeah.
who knows? We might find something deep from that
Yeah, you did, Julie.
Never underestimate the Sweet or Savory podcast.
one. Never underestimate it. And thank you for listening. Thanks to all who contributed on our Instagram, those on Discord, our Glisten Up team. Thank you so much. And our friends at Kumu and One Down Media, our friends and family for supporting this podcast since season 1. Thank you.
Check out our podcast episode page for more debates like assumptions about us.
Or top 5 Disney movies, which was an awesome episode.
Or are we compatible based on our personality types?
And other polarizing topics. We want to thank, of course, our producers, Nathan Texan behind the camera. Have you said hi in this episode, by the way?
Come say hi.
Give the viewers a little looky-see.
Look, Shay.
There he is. I was talking to Alyssa about maybe we do like a Filipino episode and you could guest host.
Oh.
And we could try different Filipino foods and stuff. That sounds fun. I don't know. That'd be fun.
That'd be super fun.
Let's do it.
Julie, you can still be a part of it because you are
Okay,
an
good.
honorary
Married.
Filipino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your kids
Great.
will be half.
Your kids will be half. Yes. And of course, our lovely Julie Texan. Oh, and the lovely. She's our lovely Julie Texan as well, who actually has a podcast of her own. So check it out. It's called The Really Pretty Good Podcast. And it, when I pull up my Spotify, it's like the first one there.
That's right. It is. Oh, just kidding. Thank you. That's so nice.
Don't forget to follow us, interact with us on social media at Sweet or Savory Pod, and email us at sweetorsavorypod@gmail.com. And
Check us out on Kumu as well every week as we discuss our new episodes and debate even more on our Sweet or Savory live stream show.
yeah, this one is going to have a lot of
deep.
talk. So join us on Kumu after watching this. Yeah.
Yes. Also, please rate, review, subscribe, and please tell your friends and family. Stay sweet.
Or savory.